Turkesterone is a very popular topic in the fitness space at the moment, and it comes from a group of hormones, or plant and insect hormones, called ecdysteroids. Okay? And the idea being is that it would somehow replicate testosterone in the human body and cause increases in muscle growth. However, we don't know what the mechanism of action for ecdysteroids actually is, because it's been shown that they do not bind to testosterone receptors and they do not increase testosterone. So any claims that they increase human muscle mass have to occur through channels other than those two, and we don't know what those channels are. So a little bit of background here: it never pays to be one of the early adopters of a supplement, because it means that we do not know over the long period of time whether or not this supplement is safe. Yes, it might be alright in an 8-week trial, but we don't know if this is something that you can safely take for 30 years without growing a second head or whatever. Okay? So, it doesn't pay to be in that early wave of adopters. However, turkesterone has actually been around since I think 1968. The first studies, they found that it increased protein synthesis in mice livers. Then in 2006 we had some human trials and they found that it didn't do anything from Bill Campbell's lab. And then more recently in 2019 there was what actually looks like an extremely suspect study which showed that it made a massive difference. The reason I say suspect is the way they used to measure the increase in muscle mass was not very reliable. They used just BIA scales. And the other thing that made this a very suspicious finding is that the actual supplement that they used in that trial was then tested. And whilst they thought they were using 100 milligrams of ecdysterone, they were actually only using around 9 milligrams of ecdysterone and producing a huge increase in muscle protein synthesis and muscle growth. And that would be a change much greater than we would expect from an equivalent dose of human testosterone. So you've got to look at that study and be like, okay, some pretty suspect actions going on here. So you've now got some very big players in the supplement market selling and marketing very heavily this supplement based on what looks like one very questionable study. And what you've got to understand here is they aren't trying to sell this supplement because it is extremely effective. They're trying to sell this supplement because it offers them an opportunity to make a shitload of money. Okay? So do not buy the hype and be one of the early adopters of these supplements. Wait and see until more literature comes out, because my guess will be that turkesterone turns out to be a bit of a scam. If it does turn out to be backed up by more and more studies as time goes on, brilliant, you can then hop on board. But you don't ever lose out by waiting a few months to see if more data comes out